Today we are honored to commemorate and celebrate the unsung heroes who shape our future. Talking about teachers. On this year's World Teachers Day, join us as we delve into the remarkable contributions of educators worldwide, their challenges, and their pivotal role that they play in shaping our society as well as tomorrow's leaders. Get ready for an insightful and inspiring conversation that will highlight all of this dedication and passion that teachers around the world show. But before we begin, let's get the backgrounder to set the pace.
Say, I am Master Usman.
I am Master Usman.
I say you should mention your own name. If you are blessed, you say blessing. Do you get it?
Yes.
If you are savior, you are just say savior. Just mention your own name. Do you get it?
Yes.
World Teachers Day is held annually on the 5th of October to celebrate all teachers around the globe. It commemorates the anniversary of the adoption of the 1966 International Labour Organization and UNESCO recommendation concerning the status of teachers, which sets benchmarks regarding the rights and responsibilities of teachers and standards for their initial preparation and further education, recruitment, employment, teaching and learning conditions. World Teachers Day has been celebrated since 1994. It is a day to celebrate how teachers are transforming education and also to reflect on the support they need to fully deploy their talents, vocation, and to rethink the way ahead for the profession globally. World Teachers Day is co-convened in partnership with the International Labour Organization, ILO, UNICEF, and Education International. It's a call for countries to ensure that teaching is transformed into a more attractive and valorized profession where teachers are valued, trusted, and adequately supported to meet the needs of every learner. Bold actions must be taken if we are to reverse the current decline and successfully increase teacher numbers. Being a teacher provides the unique opportunity to make a transformative and lasting impact. However, the world faces an unprecedented global teacher shortage caused by a decline in their working conditions and status. World Teachers Day 2023 tagged the teacher we need for the education we want. The global imperative to reverse the teacher shortage. The 2023 celebrations is aimed at putting the importance of stopping the decline in the number of teachers and then starting to increase that number at the top of global agenda. Various activities are organized to advocate for a dignified and valued teaching profession, analyze their challenges, and showcase inspiring practices to attract, retain, and motivate teachers and educators. Lens on Africa Today examines the ways in which education systems, societies, communities, and families will recognize, appreciate, and actively support teachers. Stay tuned.
The theme of this year's World Teachers Day is the teacher we need for the education we want. With me in the studio to have an insightful and inspiring conversation are Ms. Ogechi Stanisha Ugwanyi. Ogechi is an award-winning educator, a mentor. She's also an author and a digital facilitator, as well as the creator of the Global Readers Book Club. Welcome to Lens on Africa, Ogechi.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you so much for coming. Also with me in the studio is Professor Josiah Olusegun Ajiboye. He is a professor of social studies and civics/environmental education at the University of Ibadan. He is also the president, Africa Federation of Teachers Regulatory Authorities, AFTRA. He's a member, advisory board, GOGA project in Africa, a member, International Society for Teacher Education, ISITE, among so many other caps that he wears. You're welcome, Professor.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. All right, we're going straight into our conversation today, and this is easy for me to identify with because I've had opportunity to teach before as well.
That's wonderful.
All right, so I'll start with you, Ogechi.
Okay.
Was teaching a chosen profession, or did you just dabble into it, or just stumble into it? What is your story?
Thank you for that question. You see, so many people actually get to answer this question whatever field you are in. But you realize that, if you agree with me rather, about 80 or 90% of youth these days actually are not really practicing what they actually wanted to, right from when they were in kindergarten, you know, those career days in school and all that. But I discovered along the line that this is actually my thing. I'm passionate about children, and I feel this is the way to give back. This is the way to really, you know, bond with these children to make them better. And it's been 10 years and I'm still counting.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, Professor Josiah, what's your story?
Well, you know, it's by choice, deliberate.
Okay.
And if you check the trajectory of my education, you will know that, well, some of us have chosen to be teachers from the word go.
Okay.
First degree, Bachelor of Education degree, and then Masters of Education in Teacher Education, and then PhD Teacher Education. So, in essence, you know, we are cut out and prepared to do this.
Wow.
So, it's by choice and deliberate.
Okay, I like the fact that both your stories are different. Now, let's talk about this generation, because you're both from different generations. So let's talk about the next generation. How do we make the teaching profession appealing? How do we make it interesting, you know, for them to have a desire to want to be teachers? Because if you talk to 10 children right now, or 10 teenagers, you can bet that it's just probably one person. And if you ask further questions, you find maybe the person's parent were teachers. So how can the profession be made more attractive to the younger generation?
Thank you very much. You know, I'm glad that we have younger people like Ogechi who are so much interested in teaching. And that's the kind of thing that we are trying to develop as the Registrar Chief Executive of Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, the body that is saddled with responsibility of making teaching a profession in the country, and ensuring that we have quality teachers in our land. One is so concerned about the state of things with regards to teachers. You will agree with me that over the years, so many people actually have abandoned this profession, what we call the mother of all the professions. Okay, people are out there to do so. When they started, they were even going for immigration, for customs and other things. But now they are even leaving teaching for, you know, for so many other ridiculous things to do. So you know what's supposed to be the pride of all the professions. So what we're doing at the level of the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, we got the last government. We got the immediate past government under President Muhammadu Buhari to approve certain welfare packages for Nigerian teachers in 2020. And actually, the approval was guided by two major principles. One, how do we attract best brains to the teaching profession? That's number one principle. Because we discovered that not so many young people, like you said, you get to a classroom of 20, if you ask the children, how many of you want to be teachers? Hardly will you get one who will actually indicate that. So number one principle was how do we attract best brains to the teaching profession? As of today, we have already introduced what we call bursary award for education students in the universities. Yes, we have started with final year students, but I think this is one of the ways by which we can motivate these people.
Okay.
Also, government has started to approve the idea of sponsoring the teaching practice of the education students, as well as paying their lecturers. Okay, these are some of the things that we are trying to do. Now, you also recall that because I said there are two major principles. One, attracting best brains to teaching. Two, retaining experienced teachers. One of the things that we did also in retaining the experienced teachers is also elongation of years of service for the teachers. Today now, other civil servants, including federal civil servants, you will retire at 60. But for teachers and educators, now you have to retire at 65 or 40 years in service, whichever one comes first. You in NTA, you are going to live at 60. But if you change to teaching, you will have opportunity of staying to 65.
Okay.
You know, so these are the ways by which we believe that when the profession is made more attractive, this is where work can. And do you know what? If you see what happened about 2 days ago at the World Teachers Day, you want to become a teacher. You know, if you see teachers going home with brand new vehicles, the best public school teacher went home with Peugeot, is it 203? Yes! And so many other cars were distributed to teachers in a way to motivate them, so that we'll be able to attract these young people like Ogechi to come to this profession, and even your good self, so that you come and join us.
Okay, now let's talk about evolution. We know that teaching has evolved over the years, especially with technological advancement. Also, teaching methods have changed globally. Now, let's talk about how can educational institutions and policy makers be deliberate about updating training for teachers. Now, not just the students, but the teachers. How can they have relevant and up-to-date trainings going with what's happening globally? Ogechi, what are your thoughts on this?
All right, and first of all, we have to look at the teachers. Number one, just like you said, there are so many things happening in the teaching profession, but I'm surprised. I'm not really surprised that he's talking deliberate about the government sector or the public sector. Now the private sector is out of it, because I can't remember any private school
teacher won, the best private school teacher won a brand new car.
Wow.
Okay, Abuja.
In this, the World Teachers Day, 2 days ago, celebrated by the federal government of Nigeria. We gave award to the best public school teacher, the best private school teacher.
Does this happen annually, sir?
Annually, every year. This is what we do. And before she will come on, even a Nigerian teacher won the African Union Continental Teachers Prize. $10,000.
That's impressive. Wow.
This year, a Nigerian teacher from a public school in Lagos State, you know, Okeodo Senior High School, you know, won the African Union Teachers Prize. $10,000. You know, this is a way of making teaching, and so you can continue with the private sector.
All right, okay, as I was saying, exactly, you know, teaching is actually a lifelong journey, and it's dynamic. It's more dynamic than any other profession you can think about. So youth of these days, the government or the policy needs to make them included in whatever they are planning, whatever policy they are planning, because let's say the African youth or the Nigerian youth prefer to just read to pass exams. Yeah, they just want to read it for passing, not because they want it to be a continuity or continuous process in their lifestyle. And the issue of like teaching children, when it comes to teaching, wow, it's actually a very tasking job. Number one, if you are a trained teacher, it's different. It's just like a number one, just like a part of what you need to be a teacher, qualified to be in the classroom. Secondly, do you have emotional intelligence? So after all these beautiful policies you're making for those people, when they now come on board, you find there's a lot of laxity. Like, I want to get, even when you make let's say if you make it competitive, like the way people go for CBN jobs, go for these jobs because it's high paying, when they come into the profession, honestly they may struggle if they are not passionate about this particular profession. They don't have intelligence, most of them have intelligence quotients, you know, but what about emotional quotients? That is what most people are lacking, and that is how you can thrive in other professions. But when it comes to teaching, you don't have emotional quotient, you don't have empathy, you don't even have passion, there is no way you're going to thrive despite the policies, whatever policy the government will make, or whatever amount is attributed to that job.
Wow, that's interesting. So you brought the responsibility back to the teachers themselves, meaning that no matter what beautiful policies that are set up, if they're not completely desirous of that,
you have to be passionate about the job,
not able to participate or benefit from it. Now let's talk about challenges. We know there are lots of challenges facing the teaching profession.
Of course,
Professor Sah, can you share some of them? Throw in some personal experiences as well, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, I was glad when Ogechi was speaking and she was talking of the teacher personal development, because this is what we actually require. You know, a teacher has to realize that for our own profession, there are three things we have to do. You have to learn, unlearn and relearn. Okay? Teaching requires what we call lifelong learning.
Yes.
Yes, it requires lifelong, especially in this digital age. Okay? It's important that as a teacher you have to be technologically savvy.
Exactly.
Okay? You cannot afford to remain what you call a BBC teacher, a born before computer teacher. At this age, it's not possible. And so as a 21st century teacher, you must be able to leverage on the use of technology to drive teaching and learning. This is what we are talking about. So there are a lot of challenges, enormous challenges, that confronts the teacher. Like I've mentioned some earlier on, the job is not attractive, to so many. They feel, look, the remuneration is very low and things like that, and for a young person who is so dynamic and wants quick things, they may not see it so attractive. But what we say is that, look, ultimately you will discover that it pays off. Okay, it pays off. And let me tell you, part of the thing that we enjoy, in spite of all the challenges facing the profession, if you can develop yourself, personal development is the key. Yes, we talk of mandatory continuing professional development in Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria. We engage the teachers, we bring them to the table to train them on so many things, but personal development is the key. But in spite of the challenges, if you are able to excel on this job, believe you me, yes, they say our reward is in heaven. Gradually we are already enjoying some of it here. And I want to assure you that, look, the reward is always there for the teacher. You may not know this. You will just get to a place. Somebody will say, who is that? Are you a child or a daughter or son of Professor Ajiboye or teacher? So. I say, I know your father. He taught me. There have been so many instances like that where we will go out as teachers, and ultimately what will happen is that, look, you'll be amazed the kind of things that. So what we want to tell the young ones, the Ugetis of this world, is that they should please come into this profession, because the older teachers are leaving the profession. They are retiring. So many are dying, and so there is a need for us to look at. When the minister was talking the other day, he said we need about over 360-something thousand teachers, in our school system in the country, especially if we are going to bring the out-of-school children back to school. It's important that we have these teachers. And so please, we want the younger ones to come in, and that is when we can revolutionize the teaching profession and together. So please, this is our clarion call to the Nigerian youth. Let all embrace teaching. Teaching is the noblest. We are the nation builders. We teach, others learn. For goodness sake, let us embrace teaching and make it what it's supposed to be again.
All right. For what you have said and what Ogechi has said earlier, everyone has a responsibility to carry out. Teachers themselves, policymakers, government, and the likes. Talk to me about the kind of partnership that would actually ensure that the dream we have, especially for Nigeria in particular and Africa in general, to see our educational system turn around for good. What partnership would be ideal?
Partnership means people who can come in to make progress, to add positively into the education sector. For me, number one would be the parents. Yes, because why I said the parents, because I'm still in the classroom, I see a lot of things happening. Just like when you spoke about challenges that teachers face on a daily basis, there are a lot of challenges in the classroom coming from the home front. So we need to really partner with the parents. Let me do that. Parenting is a conscious effort. You have to be in the lives of those children, because whatever partners we have, even when they are from abroad, they're in the society everywhere, the government and all that, and the parents are not really doing their best, to bring up those children, we will keep suffering in the classroom. And those children have also a responsibility or a fair share of that suffering. Let me bring to the light that, most of the children I've taught recently, there's even a child that kept calling me mommy. Yes, it was that serious. And they keep, no, she's not mommy, she's not your mommy. Unconsciously she'll call me mommy. Why? Because I try as much as possible to make the children see me as a second parent. Because I know most of them are lacking. There's a particular day I treated a comprehension passage, and they were like, because whatever we do, we try to relate it to a real life experience. That's not just a fictional stuff, but we try to relate it to the real life experience. We're like, please, can you just shut the door? I was shocked. These are primary 5 children, yes.
Okay.
Can you just shut the door? I was like, wow, what's happening? And I shut the door, and they started saying so many things that I was even scared of. Like children, you know, parents don't have time for them. They do this, they do that. There is no intentional parenting.
Okay.
So no matter how beautiful we put these, teachers will suffer. Why? Because the background is faulty.
Okay.
These children come to school broken.
Okay.
And we have a responsibility, yes, we have a responsibility of like, okay, just forget about this. This is, you have to smile to these children, you have to make them feel comfortable.
see.
And this particular child will always tell me, I want to come to school. I just want, do you know why I always want to come to school? I said, why? Because this is the only place I can smile. Yes. She said the classroom is the only place she can smile, she can express herself, because she became talkative at a point. And I had to like, what is happening? Because she wasn't like that before. And I had to break into her, and she had to like express herself. So whatever partnership we are dealing with in this country, please, let's try to include the parents. They are the #1 partners we need in education.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
I love the sound of that. All right, let's talk about encouragement for educators who are currently rethinking their career choice. Like, how did I get myself into this place? Or this is not what I want. I want to drop out of teaching. You both will go. So what would you say to somebody who's already discouraged with the current situation of the teaching space?
The space, the global space is now there for the teachers to excel. Let me tell you the truth. The world is waiting for the teachers. Okay? You know, just to tell you that a lot of opportunities now exist in the teaching profession.
Yes.
So many Nigerian teachers are going even to teach globally. And as they are seeking out for medical doctors and engineers and other things,
Yes.
now they are even seeking after Nigerian teachers as well.
Yes.
Okay? Last year alone, over 600 Nigerian teachers actually were employed by the Canadian government to teach in their schools. Over 600. When we started this year with the United Kingdom, with UK, over 1,800 Nigerian teachers have now been taken by the UK. So opportunities abound everywhere. Today, we said we have a shortage of about 69 million teachers globally. 69 million teachers globally, according to UNESCO. Okay, and we need people to fill. In Africa, we have about, is it about 17 million deficit, shortage of teachers, because even the global team for this year, the team for this year is the teachers we need for the education we want, the global imperative for to reverse teacher shortage. That's the theme. There's global imperative to reverse teacher shortage, because globally there is teacher shortage, and Nigeria is also affected badly. And that's why we say there are opportunities here now. Let the youth of this country take these opportunities. Now Nigeria has been recognized for producing professional teachers. And it is now important that our youth have to key into this. Please, don't leave this profession for anything. Look, don't consider that. Don't consider leaving teaching profession. You are nation builders. Okay? If you get to somebody gave a gist, maybe you saw it on social media. Other professionals went to former chancellor of Germany, Angela Merkel, and said, look, we want to be paid the same salaries as teachers. And Angela Merkel told them, how can I pay you the same salaries with those who teach you? It's not possible. Okay, if you get to Japan, in the court of Japan, it's only a teacher that is allowed to sit down.
Even in Finland.
Okay, I'm having a meeting with the Finnish team on Monday. They are going to come from Finland, or the secondary education board from Finland. They are meeting with them on Monday. And part of what we are discussing is about how to strengthen our teacher professional development in Nigeria, so that our teachers will be ranked among the best globally. So this is what we are trying to do to make this job attractive to the younger ones, and we appeal to them. For those who are already there, please do not leave. Let us survey the situation together. The Nigerian teacher is very resilient, is active. When COVID came, these people did wonderfully well. They did extremely well. They easily adapted to the use of technology, and they were doing so many things in their classroom to change the narratives. So we really appreciate them.
Thank you so much for that.
Also, to really add a little to that. Okay, when it comes to resilient teachers, actually we do have resilient teachers. We have teachers out there who have given their all, like I am. We've given our all to teaching. But you should know that in this country, unlike UK and other places, the salary structures are never the same. And this is a factor that affected a lot of quality teachers, and they're looking elsewhere. For example, they have needs. Youth leaders have needs. Imagine working or doing your best and what you're getting in return is just like a stipend or something. You know, it's not really commemorating with the effort you put into your work.
Yeah.
So I think that section should actually be looked into, and also the way management treats their staffers. You know, the staffers is really a no-go area. Most schools are ridiculous in terms of welfare packages for their teachers, most especially private schools. They work you. Sometimes I see, most times I get from 8 o'clock as a teacher. Yes, I know it's a lifelong learning process. You have to also plan for the next day, even while you're at home. You have to think about this particular child. How can I make this child better? How can I do this? So that is why it's actually it's multitasking. That is why most youth of these days prefer to just read to pass exams than to read continuously because they want to really improve a certain thing. And when the money is not beneficial, they opt for other options.
Okay, so why would the person stay? Why should somebody in the teaching profession not give up and run away?
That is what I'm talking about. Because when your workload is not commemorating with what you're given in return as salary or wages, at a point you get broken. The bills are there piling up for you, and this is it.
So in other words, they should go away.
They shouldn't go away. I'm actually talking to the sector, to the management, to the private sector, to the government. If they can do something about the salary structure of the teachers, I think it will be really, really enticing for the youth to come on board.
I agree with Ogechi that we need to make the job more attractive
Exactly.
to the younger ones, especially with the area of remuneration.
Yes, it's very important.
You know, these people are carrying a lot of load. Like, a teacher is described like a candle.
Yeah.
You know, he lit himself for the others to see.
Yes.
You know, so the teachers during the day is there. You know, where in the evening, at night, he's trying to mark some scripts and things like that.
So a lot of records there as well.
It's about 24 hours job. And so, you know, there's no rest as such for the teacher. And so please, we have been making the call. You know, in our own case, we believe from the Teachers Association Council of Nigeria's perspective, we believe that teacher professionalism and teacher welfare, they are two sides of a single coin. Okay, as we are promoting teacher professionalism, we also talk about teacher welfare because we believe very strongly that a hungry teacher will not be able to go to the classroom to teach. These people need to be supported, and that's why even whether in the private sector or in the governmental sector, we want the government and even especially the state governments, who are the largest employers of these teachers, we want them to wake up to their responsibility. Please, if we are saying that these children are our future, they are the leaders of tomorrow, we need the teachers to be able to bring them up. Okay? And that's why it's imperative that we have to address this and make that profession more attractive so that we'll be able to retain brilliant people as Ogechi as we have here.
Thank you so much. This is pretty much the size of this conversation. I'm so grateful for your time and for, you know, the interesting conversation and insightful conversation that we've had so far. Thank you, Ogechi Stanisha Ugwanyi, an educator, writer, mentor and digital facilitator. Thank you, Professor Josiah Olusegun Ajiboye, Registrar, Chief Executive, Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria here in Abuja. Thank you so much to you also for staying tuned and listening to this very, very important conversation so far. I hope that you have been convinced to hang in there because it can only get better.